Hey everyone, today I'm going to be doing a video on something that's a little bit more serious, a little bit more personal. It's my story, my own personal story of how I was bullied when I was in the younger grades of high school, and how it's affected me and how I've changed since it stopped. When I was in grade 7, I started developing acne, and like any person, any girl or boy who was going into their teenage years, everyone, I got pimples, and they started to get a little bit worse as the year progressed, and instead of becoming something that was just normal, my pimples actually began to swell and become cysts, and I would be completely embarrassed by it because I would just have this lump on my face. This is my first one. I've got scarring. My first ever pimple that's what became swollen, and it resulted in me having to get a fringe, and I even had to go to school with part of a band-aid actually over my forehead, this section of my forehead, plus a fringe over it to make it not as noticeable. Unfortunately, people did notice, and there were some comments on it. I can't really remember what they were now, but because it was in the early stages, it wasn't so bad. I didn't get much from it. Going into grade 8, it was alright. It was okay. It was something that I could manage. It was, as long as I had my fringe, my front fringe, then I was okay. But as the year went on, I started to develop more, and I would get, at one time I had about, I think, 10 cysts on my face, and I'm not exaggerating when I say that. I had that one here, 2 on the side of my head. This one here, you can sort of still see the scarring. Sorry, the light's a bit bright, but I have scar there, here. I had them in multiple places, and as anyone would, I tried to cover them with makeup. And I'm not someone who likes wearing makeup. I absolutely hated it. I would put on this foundation to try and cover up the redness, but of course nothing would cover up the lumps. And I would be in the car on the way to school, and I would ask my mum, do I look like a cake face? Do I have too much on my skin? And sometimes she would say, it looks like, you need to rub it in a little bit more. And because I'd be so embarrassed, and I did not want to be someone who had a cake face, I would actually start crying in the car on the way to school because I didn't want to be seen the way that I was. And so I would just be conscious of that the whole entire day. And while I was at school, people would actually stare at me because I was the only person in my whole entire school with my skin condition. I had a condition called cystic acne. No one had seen it before, that I know, because they wouldn't have stared otherwise. But they would just look at me, and I would try my hardest to ignore it, try and, smile at them and be like, I'm normal. And they would, I would have people comment on it and everything, and it was when I was just walking around the school. I think I needed to go to the toilet during class. I was walking through the school. I was walking past the SOS block, and as I was walking past, there was a Year 12 class in this room, and as I was walking, I overheard a guy go, "Oh, that's the girl with the scars on her face." That right there is something I will never forget. It was crushing. They didn't know that I heard. It wasn't meant to be something that I would hear. I was just walking past to go to the toilet, and I just hear this Year 12er, a little Year 8er or grade 9er, hearing a person in the big grade saying that I was the girl with scars on her face. Knowing that I was labelled that girl was absolutely crushing, and still gets to me now. But another time that I knew that that girl was I was sitting with my group of friends, you know, my amazing group of friends, the ones that would stuck up for me if anything happened. This boy came over and he was having a joke with one of my friends, and I did a sarcastic laugh, just because, you know, he was just part of it. And he just looked at me and he goes, "Shut up, Scarface." And right then and there, because by this time I had enough, I just broke down. And my friend actually, because he had walked away, my friend stood up. She was angry. She raced over to him, and I looked over and she was abusing the crap out of him. And, you know, my friends are just in there trying to comfort me, and, okay, I did not ask for this. I did not get someone to do this for me, but the word got around, and he actually ended up getting bashed. I'm not sure if it was for that, but it was because multiple people came up to me saying, "Did he say that to you?" And I was like, you know, yeah, he did, not knowing what was going to happen, and he ended up getting bashed for it, and he was forced to come over and apologise to me and everything. But just having those comments said to me while I'm at school, it's absolutely confidence crushing. It's not something that you want to go through, and every single day I would come home and I'd have a story to tell my mum every day. There was never a day where I'd be at school and nothing would happen that would hurt me in some way, like that would upset me. And most of the time I would come home and I'd just start crying. I wouldn't even say anything. And later I found out that my dad was always like saying to me after everything was better, he'd just be like, it would break my heart having to see my daughter come home and just cry. And thinking about it now, it breaks my heart knowing that that's what it was like, that was what my life was like for a while. And I'm just so glad that that part of my life is over. And I think it was in grade 9, I still had it into grade 9. I was walking past our science block, it was the end of the day, everyone was going home, and this boy was walking in front of me. He was in grade 8, and he just kept turning around and looking at me, and I knew what it was about. I knew because I was sadly I was getting used to the staring, and he just kept looking at me, and he eventually said, "What's wrong with your face?" And I said, "Nothing." I said to him, I was like, nothing's wrong with my face. And he was just like, and walked off. And it still confuses me how someone can just say that to somebody. How someone can just go up to somebody, say, "What is wrong with your face?" I have no idea how someone could say that at all. But as a result of all of that, it ruined my confidence. I couldn't look people in the eye when I was walking past. I felt like a cake face. I felt hideous walking anywhere. I avoided going anywhere. There was a time in grade 9, I was in my English class with a boy that I thought was cute. You know, I fancied him a little bit, and we were put together in a seating plan, and I was talking to him. His eyes didn't leave mine, and that's when I knew that I'd found somebody that was actually going to accept this and what was wrong with me. He didn't look, he didn't stare, he didn't question. He just looked at me in the eye, and we just had a good conversation. And he is still a very close friend of mine up until now. And so I'm very, very happy that I still have him. But I just wanted to share this with you, just so you know, because it was in grade 9 that I actually was referred to a dermatologist and I got treatment, and it took months for it to heal because there were things that I would struggle to do. Like I couldn't wear a hat because the cysts would bruise and become purple. I couldn't sleep properly without being in absolute pain because the cysts on the side of my face would kill having any pressure put onto them. You know, I would get them behind my ears, I would get them on top of my ears, and I'd be sitting in class, someone said, what's wrong with your ear? What's behind it? And again, it would just kill me. And all these things I couldn't do because it would in some way affect my skin, it would aggravate it, and so I would just have these bruised cysts on my face. And sometimes makeup couldn't cover that. And when I finally got treatment, my skin finally got better, and I would get so many compliments saying, wow, your skin it's amazing. And I am just so happy now that I've got the skin that I do. I'm still on treatment, and I'm now out of school. I've been on treatment since I was in grade 9, and I'm turning 18 this year, and it's going to be a while until I'm off of it completely. And having had this whole experience, it has made me a much more confident person. It's, built me as a person. I hate wearing makeup now. I never wear makeup if I don't have to, because I want to cherish what I've got, and just, I want to feel fresh and clean. And, as soon as I didn't have the skin problem anymore, I got rid of my fringe, because I was just so confident, so much more proud, and I was just so much more happy with who I was. And good things come out of bad things. I believe that just from that. And I believe that from having the experience of being bullied, it has definitely changed me as a person. I don't think I would be who I am today. And to those people that did hurt me, it's still not fair. I don't talk to those people. I undoubtedly would have had comments behind my back that I don't know about, obviously. But I just wanted to share this with you, because for those of you who do get bullied, I know exactly how it feels. I know that it's hard, and I know that, at the time, it feels like, you've got nothing. But honestly, there's something at the end of that tunnel. There's always going to be a light at the end of the tunnel. And it's not going to be forever. It's not going to last. It's just a stage that you're going through, and it's not going to last forever. And I know, because I've been through it, and so many other people have been through it, and it will end. And you will feel absolutely amazing, and you should feel amazing. Now, it's so important just to not let people get you down. It's so important, because you need to just be a strong person. And that's really all the advice I can give, because I'm getting flustered from it all. But I just felt you should all know this, and that I have been through a rough time. And I'm just proud of who I am today. And I probably wouldn't even be making these videos if I hadn't had those experiences, because I probably wouldn't even be confident enough. So I just want to thank you all so much for watching. I know this is a very long video, but it means a lot that you watched it, and just that you know what I have been through, and that if you're being bullied, then just don't let it get to you, because, like I said, it's not going to last forever. So thank you so much for watching, and you are all beautiful.